Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, and good evening and welcome to our community workshop for St. Joseph's Medical Center on the proposed hospital expansion. Before we begin with
hospital
introduction,
expansions.
I did just want to
Um,
note that we do have both Spanish and Tagalog.
Meron po tayong Spanish at Tagalog na serbisyo na natin. Nandito po sa screen na nandito po yung instruction po natin o tagapagsalin na meron po tayong tagapagsalin. At yung impormasyon na ito ilalagay din po natin sa chat feature at gamitin niyo po ito ang proseso na ito para sa ano pong sa nakasali po at andito sa ating programa. Sa pagsali niyo po sa so kung sino man yung hindi po nakasali sa isa po sa mga workshops po natin, so siguro baka makasali na kayo sa susunod pang mga So dahil dito, ipepresenta na po natin ating presenters sa Donald Wiley. Ako yung presensya sa St. Joseph Medical Center.
Hello, my name is Michael Williams. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at St. Joseph's.
Ang pangalan ko si Michael Wills. Ako po yung Chief Officer po dito sa St. Joseph.
Hi, I'm Peter Rosado, local Stockton architect and co-owner of
Ako po si Peter sa local architect sa St. Joseph at saka sa planning sa process na ito.
And I'm Nanette Farag with Randall
Sa Nanette Farag para po masuporta sa St. Joseph Medical Center. So para mag-umpisa po tayo ngayon, ito po yung overview sa agenda po natin ngayong gabi. Pag-uusapan po natin yung tungkol po sa kasaysayan po sa Sir yung ang sa ating komunidad na ibibigay po ang ating overview. Pagkatapos po makompleto yung portions, meron po tayong Q&A portion para pa sa pampubliko o publiko na pwede kayong magtanong sa chat. Kung meron po kayong gustong itanong sa pampubliko na pag-usap, pwede po kayong magtaas ng kamay at magtanong. Pagkatapos pong manatili po kayong kasali at engage at sana makatili po sa trust pagkatapos po natin sa ating 6:30. Gusto ko lang pong ibigay po dito yung tungkol sa view kung ano pong gagawin po natin sa ating workshop para po makapagbigay ng overview tungkol po sa proyekto natin. Bakit po yung na-propose yung pag-expansion, ano po yung timeline, ano po yung dagdag po natin dito tungkol po sa komunidad, kung meron po mga katanungan, mga tugon, mga feedback tungkol po sa pagpapalawak ng proyekto na ito sa kabuuan po ng proyekto. So bago pa tayo tumuloy-tuloy sa pinaka-main portion ng presentation, meron po tayo para malaman natin yung ating mga audience po natin. Sa nakita nyo po sa ating screen, meron po tayo na mga poll na katanungan. So para sa ating audience po natin, so na makapagbigay po kayo. So yung ano po yung so ito pwede na po kayong magsagot.
The immediate results and answers in the poll. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Wiley.
So dahil po dito, iano po natin kay Mr. Wiley. Maraming salamat, Nanette. So i-cover lang po natin yung tungkol po sa kasasa sa St. Joseph Medical Center. Ito po ay na-found po sa 1899 at nag-sponsor po tayo sa mga Dominican sisters sa buong kasaysayan po nito sa mga nagdaang taon. Isa sa mga bagay na natingnan nyo po dito ang mga detalya. Meron po tayong mahabang kasaysayan sa pagiging involved po natin ngayon. Meron tayong mahabang kasaysayan na nagbibigay ng serbisyo sa komunidad. At ito ay napaka-proud po namin ito at tuloy-tuloy po natin ang pagbibigay nating serbisyo. Sumunod na slide. So ito po sumunod po natin dito na mas sa una po dito. So yung pag-ano po sa ambulatory care, mga serbisyo sa cancer, sa pag-aalaga sa puso at na-expand po natin iba pang mga facility. Yung pagpaunlad po sa heart center. Ito po ay bagong nirinimus. Ito po ay Heart Institute sa St. Joseph. Si Dr. Morsi sa 15 taon na naandito sa kanyang career. Ang pinakabagong building po natin sa 2010, dinagdag po, nadagdagan po ng 100 beds. Meron po tayong dagdag na NICU. So sa building na yon. Sa 2016, nakipag-partner po tayo sa Kaiser Permanente o Kaiser Foundation Hospitals. Ito po ay talagang totoong pakikipag-partners. So itong Kaiser po sa minority and investors. So sa ating gobyerno po. Ito po ay napaka sa activity po sa ospital. Sa ating pong medical education. So ito po ay mga nagpapalitan po tayo ng mga doktor, physicians sa iba't ibang so nag-umpisa po tayo ng summer. Meron po tayong mga 7 residents at pag-uusapan pa po natin yan ng mas masinsinan. So ito po na nag-propose tayo na paspalawakin pa ang ating pasilidad. Ang base po sa kasalukuyang pangangailangan ng komunidad para po mas madagdagan pa kung ano po yung ino-alok pa po natin sa komunidad. Isa sa mga bagay na talagang proud po tayo ay yung pagpaalaga sa ating komunidad, yung sa St. Joseph. Yung pong pag-contribute po, pagbigay sa ating komunidad sa nakalipas na 3 taon ay nakapagbigay tayo ng investment sa $219 million sa benepisyo sa komunidad at saka mga amenities. Karamihan po diyan ay mga ma-reimburse po yung healthcare, yung mga walang insurance, na under-insured, at saka na-expand po yung ating network at sa mga residency training po ng community healthcares, yung directions sa ating mga homeless, vulnerable na komunidad po natin at tungkol po sa papabahay sa walang mga bahay at para po sa ating komunidad. Patungkol po ito sa pakikipag-coordinate sa pag-aalaga sa ating network. At pong dagdag po dito sa community na mga ahensya po natin na ito po ay pagbibigay ng tulong o grants 1.2 million. So ibageta natin kay Dr. Michael Williams sa susunod po natin na slide.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wiley.
Maraming salamat, Ms. Wiley. I-summarize lang po natin ito yung sa sobra po sa 130 taon sa St. Joseph Medical Center ay nagiging espesyalista po tayo sa cardiovascular pag-alaga, mga serbisyo sa cancer, mga paserbisyo sa mga kabataan at mga babaehan. Meron po tayong 355 higaan. Meron po tayong staff na 700 at sobra sa 2,800 mga empleyado. Itong proyekto na ito ay makapagbigay po sa atin na may angkop ng mas mapabuti pa sa ating komunidad. Magkadagdag po ng dagdag na alam po natin na sa pamagitan po ng pagpalawak ng ating serbisyo sa pasilidad, mas makapagbigay po tayo ng mas malawak na pagpaalaga. So nakikipagtulungan po tayo sa syudad at komunidad para magbigay po yung ating po sa Stockton. Ang goal po natin ito ay makapagbigay sa 21st century hospital para sa 21st century na syudad. So alam po natin na St. Joseph Medical Center sa California, ito po ay mas mabilis yung paglaki po nito. Makapagbigay tayo ng mas malawak at diverse na komunidad na pag-aalaga. So ito po ay makapagbigay tayo ng magandang pag-aalaga sa buong mundo para sa ating mga pag-aalaga sa pasyente at mabigay natin ang mabuting serbisyo sa kanila. Tungkol po sa pinapost po natin na proyekto, itong overview, meron po tayong multiple na pag-phase po nito ay nakadesign para ma-meet po natin yung pangalan sa kalusugan, komunidad habang nirespeto natin yung utang mga lokal na mga kapitbahayan. Ito po ay magkasama ng bagong acute care tower, merong 24 na intensive care bed para sa mga pasyente, 120 general acute na pasyente na mahilan. Meron po tayong 70 istasyon sa emergency department, mga surgical area na 10 para operahanan. Meron po tayong parang pangkaligtasan na i-upgrade at meron tayong heliports na 2 at para mas lawakan pa ng 2 espasyo ang parkarahan. Bago tayo pumunta kay Pete, meron po tayong pangalawa na tanong. Meron po tayong poll na katanungan at para kung kayo po ay nakatakap po ng pag-aaral sa St. Joseph, pumili lang po. So, andito po sa sumunod na poll na tanong po natin. So, ngayon na naintindihan po natin tungkol po sa pag-aaral sa hospital. So, ngayon paliwanag natin, pakita sa inyo kung ano po yung meron tayo ng mga pasilidad sa ngayon. So, ito pong nakita nyo po sa screen. So, dito po sa bandang south end sa property po natin. So, makita nyo po yung mga landmarks. Meron po dito sa Starbucks, sa Leopard Office Building, may health clinic, at meron simbahan. Sa may bandang silangan, meron po tayo sementeryo dyan. Pirang major components po meron po tayong pinaka-main entrance dito sa hospital. Meron po tayong sa outpatient surgery center. Meron po tayo yung sa women and children's pavilion. Yung cancer center, heart center. Ang pinaka-main. So, ang ambulansya. Yung McLeod na building. Ang clinical laboratory. Yung parking lot. Saka yung sa maintenance. Paradahan.
The conceptual design of the new hospital expansion project has been laid out to have the least amount of impact.
Ito po ay na-laid out po natin para po i-acknowledge yung mga nauna ng mga pasilidad para po sa ating bill. So, naalam po na ito sa proyekto na ganito. So, kailangan po natin na yung requirements sa bagong hospital. So, ito po yung pinaka. So, ito po. So, dito po natin ilagay sa may paradahan. So, para po sa pagiging flexible po natin, ito po sa multi-servings, dito po sa may so, makita nyo po dito ang building dito sa center na ito. May makita po tayo na 2 towers po dito para po sa exterior po natin.
You'll see a new vehicle concourse and new building.
So, belang po sa para po sa ano po natin. Para po sa ano po natin. Meron po sa east side po natin para po sa puro po sa drop box natin. Ito pong disenyo na ito ay nilayout po na para suportahan yung manauna pa na pasilidad. Sa nakita po natin, meron po dito yung bagong structure para sa paradahan.
The medical center currently has surface and underground parking spaces which are distributed on and around the medical center.
So, makita nyo po dito na paligiran po ito sa ibang mga opisina at nasa gitna yung paradahan.
parking so that visitors and staff
para po ito makapagbigay po ng sapat ng paradahan para sa mga bumisita at para sa ating mga pasyente.
We are also looking at parking structure in the most logical place.
So tinitingnan din po natin para po sa mas mapabuti natin yung ating paradahan at makapagbigay po ng mas mahusay at madali. So ating element po. Meron po tayong Center Medical Services. Yung isa po merong heliport at yung isa din po para ma-configure po natin ito sa ating hospital. So nakita nyo po sa ating, meron po tayong sa eastern side at meron din po, so at least po hindi po siya maka-apekto sa komunidad. So ang St. Joseph, so maano po tayo sa may cemetery lane sa yung crossway po. At dagdag po dito, ang existing na entrance po natin dito ay manatili po siyang parehos.
Next slide, please.
Sumunod na slide.
So due to the extent of the improvements and to better
So dahil po
understand
dito
and
sa
execute the project, the city
yung
of
tungkol sa
Stockton hired a
project
third-party
sa
independent
nakikita
consultant
sa independent para i-evaluate yung ating mga nauna na buildings.
to identify historical resources,
Para po matukoy natin yung mga makasaysayan
qualified architectural historian,
yung tungkol po sa mga kasaysayan po natin sa historians para po ma-evaluate ng mabuti
national, state, and local eligibility.
para po sa national at saka
As a
state.
result of this
But
research,
bilang
field
dagdag resulta po sa pagsisiyasat na ito at evaluation.
in the project area are eligible
Ah.
for being listed on historic places or
So
historic.
mayroon pong building dito na matutukoy natin na historic po ito at sa ating resources. Sumunod na slide.
Here we are showing current project status during the entitlement phase. Phase 1 identifies the many tasks required as part
So
of the
makita po natin dito yung pagtingin po natin sa ating proyekto, paghahanda po sa mga pag-aaral sa technical, yung pag-aaral at proseso sa kaligtasan, yung pag-issue sa notice sa para paghahanda, 30 araw na public scoping na period, at saka yung public square na pag-meeting. So meron din po tayong ginagawa po ng mga workshops para sa komunidad. So nandito po tayo sa pangalawang phase na ating proyekto para sa pag-analisa po sa environment at pampublikong hearing at saka yung pag-master po na ating ma-develop ang ating plano sa pag-issue ng draft sa EIR at mitigation. Kung meron mong pampubliko na komento na mga araw at yung pag-issue ng final na EIR. So makita po natin ito yung pangkalahatan na timeline para sa ating proyekto. So meron po tayong 4 na phase para sa expense. Pagkatapos po ng pangalawang phase, so ma-finalize na po, mag-umpisa na. Dahil po sa paglaki ng proyekto na ito. So ito po itatagal ng mga 5 hanggang 7 taon saka po siya matapos. So po punta na tayo kay Nanette para sa iba pang information. Digdag na po tayo kay Mr. Wiley para po sa dagdag na impormasyon. Kanina na pag-usapan na po natin yung contribution sa St. Joseph. Gusto natin ipakita sa inyo yung dalawang slide kung ano po yung kasalukuyang impact yung tungkol po sa actual na construction sa period at saka kung ano po yung na-propose po natin habang natapos na po yung construction nito. Sa side na ito, nagbibigay po sa economic na benepisyo sa ating communities. Meron po tayong $1.1 billion bawat taon sa 6,146 na trabaho na sinusuportahan po nito. Ito kasama na po yung kasama na matrabaho sa loob ng ospital at saka yung mga aktibidad sa loob ng ospital. Sumunod na slide, please. Ang city nagbibigay po ng search kung ano yung benepisyo sa ekonomiya sa pagpapalawak, papalaki ng ospital. So habang isa sa mga bagay sa period po sa construction, nag-ano po tayo ng yung consultant natin ay nag-ano po tayo ng modelo sa aktibidad po sa construction at kung ano pong benepisyo. Parang tungkol po sa ito po ang sumubuod tungkol po sa aktibidad sa mga construction. Ito po so ito po sa mga 8 taon na period na yun, nakakuha po tayo ng total level income o sweldo na 369.1 million. Ito dahil po sa expansion o pagpapalawak sa ospital at para na din sa ating komunidad sa panahon na iyon. Magkakaroon tayo po ng 5,102 na trabaho na nagawa pagka nakompleto na po natin yung construction sa medical na pasilidad. Habang sinasagawa po yung construction. Sumunod na slide.
Once the medical center is expanded,
so pag palawak na po na palaki natin yung medical center, so ang mga benepisyo ay nandito. Habang ito po ay napalawak sa ating komunidad, yung sa kinaslang-alang natin sa activity na to, kung magkano yung kikitain, ato po magkano po yung gastos ng hospital, at saka yung iba po ng mga benegosyo na nakapagserbisyo sa mas madaming empleyado. Sa kapangkalanan, 1.6 billion sa mga activities sa ekonomiya at sa 6,946 na trabaho ang nasuportahan. Ito po ay sa pagtaas ng $500 million bawat taon ng epektos at nakagawa ng maraming trabaho. Sa yung huling slide po natin,
back to education, the roots
ay ito po yung tungkol po sa pagbabalik sa edukasyon. Sa 2017, nabanggit po natin yung unang residency na programa po natin para po sa graduate na medical education sa nakalipas na 4 na taon. Itong residency na programa na ito, so mga iba't ibang residency, meron po tayong 238 na residence total na training dito po sa Stockton. Itong programa na ito, nag-ano po yung $50 million para sa benepisyo sa mga employees sa Stockton. Sinusuportahan din po natin yung pagpalawak sa iba pong mga areas. Yung tungkol po sa mga iba pang mabay tulad ng mga fellowship na hindi pa naaprubahan pa ng board sa ngayon. Siguro sa susunod pa na mga taon habang tumatakbo ang proyekto na ito. So, mayroon na po tayong 8 programa sa ating dagdag pa na mga programa sa susunod pa mata. So, excited po ako tungkol dito para ma-expand po ating mga kaanuhan sa para po sa pangkalahatan. Marami pong salamat. So dito na tayo kay Nanette.
And so before we
bago tayo mag-ano para sa Q&A, so alam ko na marami tayong kinaver na informations tungkol po sa pagpapalawak. Ipapakita natin sa inyo yung animation na video kung ano po yung pangkalahatan na concept po natin.
Right. So now I would like to open it
So
up.
ngayon, ibuksan na po natin para sa Q&A. Pag-uusap para sa komunidad. Itigil ko na po yung pag-share sa screen ng sa ganon. Kung meron man mga katanungan na pwede natin mapag-usapan ngayon.
So it does not look like we have any questions.
Parang wala naman pong katanungan sa ngayon sa chat. Meron po ba yung gustong magtanong para sa ating project team? Pwede kayo magtaas ng kamay at para ipakilala ang iyong sarili.
Yes. Let's see, Jose.
So Jose,
Good afternoon. I know it's early in the process.
alam ko mas maaga po para sa proseso.
Just want to know if there is a intended general contractor selected in mind yet.
Gusto ko lang po kung meron pong general contractor sa area.
Go ahead and jump in on that one.
Yes, I'd be happy to. So I'll introduce myself. I'm the Land Use Counsel for Dignity Health on this project. And there will be an RFP process for the general contractor, and there's no date that I'm aware of to send out that RFP at this point. Working on getting the entitlements moving forward. So the direct answer is there hasn't been a general contractor selected, but there will be an RFP process in the upcoming months. I think probably more than 3 months out would be my guess.
Thank you. I know it's early in the process, and thank you very much.
Yes.
And it looks like Georgina.
Hi, thank you. I'm with the San Joaquin Building Trades, and I was just curious in regards to the city of Stockton has implemented a local hire requirement with the community training workforce agreement for projects, for public works and things like that. Has this development team considered some type of local hire requirement? Because the economic impact would be amazing, but I'm just thinking about, say, the VA hospital, for example. As an electrician by trade, I'm totally butthurt that the electricians are coming from San Diego to build the VA hospital that's going to serve our VA, community here in this area. So I'm just curious, is that something that y'all have thought about or considered?
Don, did you want me to respond to that, or?
I can give some historical context. First of all, I don't control the bidding process and the selection of the general contractor. That's really done by our national real estate person. And unfortunately tonight, they're on vacation and they couldn't, the one person that could have answered that question directly. Excuse me, an indirect answer is in the past, when we've done projects, we actually have used many local contractors in the design build process, including Collins Electric as an example. So, I don't see how we would necessarily go away from that. Excuse me, but as I said, we'll probably be able to answer that question better when we had the national real estate people on the call.
Thank you.
So to add maybe a little bit more to that, so there has been some effort by National Real Estate, I think, to meet with some of the trades representatives and maybe perhaps even you. So they're going to continue those conversations. And I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that the general contractor will ultimately pick the subs. And so I think that's probably the concern that you have based on my understanding of what might have happened with that VA hospital project. So I think there's internal discussion going on right now with efforts to respect the comments that you all are making while balancing the pricing of the project. Hopefully both can be achieved. And if there are city requirements, we're we're going to have to comply with them. So they haven't brought any of that up to us yet, but certainly we're complying with the city rules.
Thanks, Martha. Thank you, Georgina. And in the chat, we had one question that was offered. The question is, will the proposed expansion have any impact on the investments that St. Joseph's has made in the community or change any future investments?
Seems like that is more of my strike zone here.
Take it away, Don.
Appreciate the question, actually. I mean, we're hoping that the investment in expanding our facilities will allow us to provide more service to our community. That's what we're here for, and that's the intention of us developing residency programs, and as I said, strengthening both the depth and breadth of services that we offer to the community, both in our current service lines that are robust, mentioned cancer and heart, but also in areas like orthopedics, urology, pediatrics, all of the areas that we're currently investing in with the hope of providing care. And when we open our doors to our community, we open our doors to everyone. And I like saying that because it's worked out for us. We've been financially viable in doing that, and I don't see any reason why we would change our approach. So to me, it means we'll be able to invest more, that will be more successful, and be able to continue to reinvest in improving services to our community. I know it sounds like a canned speech, but it really is what's been happening here.
Any other questions? Either you're welcome again to put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and unmute your microphone. So Patricia put in the chat, will there be an opportunity for demographic percentage of hiring to mirror Stockton, demographics in Stockton when jobs are being filled? So
again, we try to hire people who are here in Stockton locally because that's the most likely group of people who are going to stay long-term, especially in professional positions where we're doing a fair amount of training of new staff. And so speaking of technical and professional staff mostly, almost all of our support staff come from the local market, and we will continue to access that market. We have a number of things that we're doing in the community to try to improve access for populations that may not otherwise be able to get professional careers. One is the Healthcare Careers Academy, which is just south of us, a high school where we're offering a professional track for potential nursing students to enter Delta College with 2 years of prerequisite education and a guaranteed spot in the nursing program. These are almost all people of color and who are really coming from an underserved population here. In addition to that, we've offered the same opportunity to our employees who already work for us in what I would call maybe technical or support jobs, the ability to, if they've completed their prerequisites and have a adequate grade point average, to also get a guaranteed spot in the nursing program at Delta College. Life-changing opportunities for people. And we're in our third group of 25 students. I think our fourth group is going to start this spring. We're graduating our second group that kind of stagger every 15 months with start dates about every 7 or 8 months. So we're really proud of that program. We're not doing it alone. The San Joaquin General Hospital and Adventist Health are also partnering as it relates to the employee population. And about half of the employees come from St. Joe's and half from the other institutions. So these are just two of but I would say are many examples of where we're trying to get people who are from our local community who might otherwise not have opportunities to get a professional education and ultimately enter the workforce at in a really wonderful career job.
Thank you, Tom. And then looks like follow-up from Patricia is, how can we view benchmarks St. Joseph's is striving for to uplift Stockton?
I don't know the short answer to that, but I'd be happy to explore that and try to figure out a way that we could present it. It's certainly something that we are trying to do, and I think that we're making great strides. And Michael, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, or if you have any ideas about that, but you know, from my way of thinking, we're trying to hire people locally, and we're trying to give opportunities to folks who otherwise may not have them.
Yeah, we've tried to do some benchmarking around, you know, our resident, our staff and where they live. We've been able to collect demographic information and things of that nature, but not necessarily whether from a zip code perspective. But it's something we're working with HR and we'll continue to work with so that we have better reports to bring forward.
Just to comment on, you know, our work with the Healthcare Careers Academy as an example, in nursing careers and medical careers, the Hispanic population or Latinx population is highly underrepresented. And those communities are, you know, part of the Healthcare Careers Academy, and they have opportunities that they might not otherwise have. Evening those numbers out to get us to 40 or 50% from single digit is going to take an awful lot of time. But, you know, we're part of the solution, I think, in that area, as opposed to, you know, thinking about it in any other way than these are people from our local community who, if they get the right education and training, will have opportunities for a lifetime and literally change the trajectory of their family for generations to come.
Thank you. And Patricia, I did see that your note in the chat, and so we do have your email from the registration. So we have that so that we can follow up with you afterwards. Any other questions from the group? Again, you're welcome to put the question in the chat or raise your hand. Well, and so we're going to go ahead and pull the presentation back up if there are no other questions. There will continue to be opportunities to submit your questions to the project team as we move forward, and we'll have some of that information up on the screen going forward here. So bear with me a moment while I get the presentation back up. All right. Hope everybody can see the screen. So last poll question, I promise, for the evening, but one last question. So if we can activate poll question number 3, we'd just like to get an idea of kind of where people reside in relation to the hospital. So the poll question is now live. If you can let us know how close you live to St. Joseph's Medical Center. Once we have answers submitted to that, we'll close the poll and share the results with the group. So moving on to next steps, Noe shared with the group earlier the overall project timeline, and really want to discuss moving forward what opportunities are for community engagement in that process. And there's quite a few different ways actually to stay involved. You know, one of them, you know, through the public hearing process, engaging to share any feedback that you have on the project proposal through the public hearings at the City of Stockton. As this does move forward, we will continue to share updates with those who are interested in staying apprised of the project, with regular email updates and updates on our website of some of those milestones that we talked about earlier. So that is one way. Another way is exactly what we're doing here tonight, and joining us for some of our community workshops. We've had a couple already. We have a couple more workshops next week, actually. We do have one in person and one via Zoom. That information is also posted on the website where people can register. And those will continue to come forward in the coming weeks and months. And then finally, as I had mentioned, staying apprised on email. Anyone who has signed up and registered for this informational workshop tonight, we do have your email address and you will be added to our email list. So as we continue to reach project milestones, have updates, new community workshops, and opportunities for engagement, we will continue to keep you informed throughout that process. And then finally, through our website, everything that we have talked about here tonight is currently available on our website. We also have that information available in Spanish and Tagalog as well. So a fact sheet, frequently asked questions, email contact information, and in addition, we do post the recordings of these community workshops. So individuals who might not be able to attend, or if you think of something after the fact, you want to go back and refresh your memory, these recordings are shared on that website for people to watch. So feel free to share them with other friends and members of your community. And then lastly, how to stay informed. So again, if something pops into your mind, you have a follow-up question after we wrap up today, or you want to share something with the project team, you can email us at sjmcinfo@dignityhealth.org. And you can find the website and with all of the information that I have just talked about at dignityhealth.org/Stockton/expansion. And so with that, that is going to conclude my portion of the presentation, and would just like to turn it over to Don to see if he has any closing remarks or final thoughts before we wrap up this evening.
Thank you very much, Nanette. I want to thank our project team for helping us put this on tonight. And I also want to thank the members of the community who cared enough to participate and also to provide some provocative and maybe challenging questions, but certainly ones that we look forward to trying to address directly. And we appreciate your interest both in our local community, local employment, local economic development, and we're interested in all of those things just as much as you are. But we also want to make sure that we're transparent in our process of making available information to our community about what we're up to and what we're trying to accomplish. So thank you again for being on tonight, and I look forward to maybe seeing some of you in person in the next week or so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Don, Michael, Pete, and team. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Please check the website. Keep an eye on your email. We'll have some more information coming your way soon.